The following comments will be addressing topics in the chapter on negotiable instruments, credit, and bankruptcy. The items that I have on your checklist are certainly the ones that I will focus on, and even those that are on that list, I can tell you that there are 3 or 4 topics that I would put at the top of the priority list. For example, at least at a minimum, know the 4 main types of negotiable instruments. You got drafts and checks. Those are 3-party instruments. They are orders to pay. There are 2 other types of negotiable instruments: notes and certificates of deposit. They are promises to pay. Those are 2-party instruments. You should know what each of these negotiable instruments is. Generally, be familiar with the names of the parties and what each party has with respect to rights and responsibilities with respect to that particular negotiable instrument. Probably the number 1 topic on this list that's worth me addressing is secured transactions. That's something that virtually all of us have been involved with, yet if someone were to ask us if we've ever been a party to a secured transaction, most people wouldn't know because they don't know what a secured transaction is. Generally, a secured transaction it's either a loan or a credit transaction in which the lender acquires a security interest in collateral that is owned by the borrower, and that lender is entitled to foreclose or repossess that collateral if the borrower defaults. Probably the best example of a secured transaction would be if you were to go to a car dealership and purchase an automobile on credit. That dealership will retain a security interest in the automobile. Should you default on your agreement, should you fail to pay your monthly note, that dealership then has a security interest in the automobile. They can repossess that automobile and sell it to get their money back on the loan that they made to you. They can repossess that automobile, and that puts them in much better shape than if they were an unsecured creditor, because if you're unsecured and the creditor goes bankrupt, you're at the tail end of the waiting line waiting for your money, as opposed to having a security interest in the collateral where you can repossess that collateral and sell the goods and get your money on the loan immediately. So it's a really big deal to have a security interest in the collateral. That's what a secured transaction is. You should be familiar with what it is, how it works, and it's got a reasonably good explanation in the chapter, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention and give you a little bit of background on it so you'll pay attention to it when you see it in the chapter. You should be familiar with what a mortgage is. If you're not now, you certainly will be when you buy a house one day. So just generally be familiar with what a mortgage is and the various types of liens that are addressed in the chapter.